Good evening, Gilder Balloon. Hello, lovely not to be the campus thing on the bill. For once. Not really. No, lovely to be here. It's very nice to see the Gilder Balloon full. I had some history with this building, not always been the case. I remember doing a gig at the old Gilder Balloon once on a Monday night. There was one person in the audience, one person, right? In those days, I was in a double act, right? If you're in an opera or something, it's probably not that undignified for you and the orchestra to outnumber the audience. If you're in a double act, it's pretty much the bleakest thing that can happen to you. But we went for it. You know, we were young, we were still keen. None of that sort of jaded and fatigue had set in or whatever. And we were having a really good go for it. Me and Jupp and George, we were called. And then about 5 minutes in, the audience put his hand up. Joe, he was called. We said, yes, there was a bit of banter, we'd found it out. We said, Joe, what is it? And he went, I'm really sorry to have to do this to you, but I need to go to the lavatory. And we had to sit there and wait for him to come back. It was the bleakest thing that could happen. Very depressing. They say that if you're depressed or stressed, a very good thing to do is a lot of exercise. Exercise can cure depression because it releases a lot of endorphins in the brain. It's a good theory, isn't it? Unless, of course, the reason that you're depressed is that you were very bad at PE at school, right? In which case, any exercise you do causes you to have brutal flashbacks. That was the case for me. I was, goodness me, I was incredibly bad at sports at school. I was awful. I was unbelievably bad. I was the slowest man you've ever seen at any event. Absolutely, it was almost as if it was medical. I'm quite sure in the 1990s I had Leicestershire's tightest hamstrings. It was just, there was no event at which I couldn't be comprehensively beaten by all the other boys, or indeed girls, at my school, even if they'd introduced a handicap system. Do you know what I mean? Even if everybody else had to carry an egg and spoon, or wear a 1920s diving suit, or have been declared legally dead by a coroner, I went to a really sporty school, you see, very sporty. What you might turn up, for instance, PE lesson once a week. You might turn up and have to do the hurdles or something like that. You know, the hurdles. Everyone else would go, oh, great, the hurdles. Whereas I think, what? We have to run and jump. That is 2 events crammed into one. This is going to take me ages. 110-metre hurdles. You have to do 10 hurdles. Everybody else would just sort of glide over the thing effortlessly, whereas I'd sort of clamber over them like a drunk staggering over the central reservation in an A-road. You know? Whenever I did get over the thing, I'd always be so excited by the success of this, I'd stop to celebrate, which would negate any momentum I'd so far managed to build up. It was extraordinary. They always had this sort of inclusive thing. They were very keen that everybody should have a go at sport. I remember we had a sports day once where everybody had to take part, irrespective of their ability. Right? Now that wouldn't happen in other parts of school life, would it? You wouldn't make people that didn't play instruments perform in the school orchestra, would you? Likewise, you shouldn't ask PE teachers to also teach an academic discipline. Thank you. But it just is correct. Ladies and gentlemen, my show is on at 8 p.m. It's called Drifting. It's about my stagnant career. Well, there we are. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you. Good night.